All right, yellow lights are off. The Matthias Motors pace car to the infield. 8 laps to distance, top 4 cars transferring onto the feature event. Pete Butler bringing him around turn number 4. Green flag. Everybody working their way through turns 1 and 2, dicing it out down the back straightaway. Keep in mind the top 4 cars transfer on. You've got a race for second. Pete Butler, Larry Neighbors, Rick Ideas, and Joe Beaver, your top 4 cars racing down the back straightaway. Oh, hang on, back into turn 2, Jace Panetta. Pete Butler brings him off turn number 4, the cone, green flag, we're back underway. Larry Neighbors ducks to the bottom side of Pete Butler, got it, takes over the lead. Now Brett Mather working on Joe Beaver, your race for 4th in turn 2. Down, oh, look out, bumping wheels down the back straightaway. Mather falls back a spot and a half, now charging back around the bottom side. Trying to close in on Joe Beaver, that's your race for the 4th spot. Joey Beaver currently running 4th in the yellow car number 53. Your leader working through turns 3 and 4. Off turn 4, here comes Larry Neighbors. Pete Butler running 2nd. Rick Ideas running 3rd. Joe Beaver running in that 4th spot. Brett Mather running 5th. Matt Fulstad running 6th. Terry McCarl 7th. Jace Panetta and Boyd Burnham. .54 seconds advantage. Larry Neighbors over Pete Butler, who currently runs 2nd. Starting to see a sign of smoke off your race leader in turn 4. Larry Neighbors starting to show smoke. Larry Neighbors works around the lap car of Boyd Burnham and smoking heavily down the back straightaway. Pete Butler still running in that 2nd spot. Rick Ideas running 3rd, Joe Beaver 4th, Brett Mather 5th. White flag this time by. 1 to go, and I don't think Neighbors is gonna make it. He's trying, he may blow her up Triumph, going down the back straightaway, smoking heavily. You've got a new leader, Pete Butler. Rick Ideas now moving around for 2nd, Neighbors running 3rd. Checkered flag off turn 4. Smoke screen for Joe Beaver. Beaver takes 4th and Neighbors makes it home in the 4th spot.
And Mike Trent and Rod Richards lead the field of the white line, 8 laps of the distance. Top 4 will transfer automatically to tonight's A main. To green flag racing action, this time by. It's green. And now coming underneath the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, it's the 14th C of Mike Trent. Like a bullet out of a gun. Taking a look on the inside, that's Don Drought Jr. in the 1M, now sliding into 2nd place. Running 3rd, it's the 15X of Jim Starr in that 4th and final transfer spot. That's the 19M of Joe McCarthy. But now your race is for 4th. We have a 4-way run now for 4th place. Take a look at the 8 of John Bankston. And now moving up to that 4th and final transfer spot, that's the 8 of John Bankston. Randy Martin now running 5th, and whoa, take a look on the backstretch. Look out, Joe McCarthy. Back to green flag racing at the orange cone. And now taking a look on the bottom side of your race leader, that's Don Drought Jr. Ain't gonna get it. The 15 now of Jim Starr running 3rd, John Bankston in that 8 car running 4th. As they come out you off of turn 4, keep your eye on the 14 of Randy Martin. as he's now working on the fourth and final transfer spot, held down by the 15X of Jim Starr, and now in the backstretch, it's Randy Martin taking over that fourth and final transfer spot. Your race action is side by side down the front stretch for fifth. It's Dave Van Hookelen now up into that fourth spot. Jim Starr, the 15X, running fifth. Still up front and in the lead, your race leader from Columbia, Missouri, that's the 14C of Mike Trent. Don Dowd Jr. from Lincoln, Nebraska, still running second. And now turns two, it's Tony Norm taking a look on the bottom side of Dave Van Hookelen. This time by the white flag for your race leader of Mike Trent. Oh, and look out on the backstretch. Tracy Nichols gets spun around and he's up on the infield. And it's Mike Trent on the gas. And he's taking a look on the bottom side, but he's not going to be able to hold it. That's Don Dowd Jr. running second. Still running third, that's the end of John Bankston. Now Randy Martin taking a look on the bottom side. It turns four. It's Randy Martin and John Bankston side by side on the white flag lap. And the top brake for the 8 of John Bankston. And it's Tony Norm over that fourth and final transfer spot as the checkered flag waves. It's Kevin Tanner and Terry Alexander leading the field around to the white line. Larry DeCrive with the green flag in hand. We're going green flag racing. Now take a look at Johnny Lightning Anderson. All the way up from the second row. We got a three-way battle for second. The 77 of Terry Alexander. Your early race leader now, it's Tim St. Arnold. In that 7S, battling for second, he's got it. Johnny Lightning Anderson now back to third in the fourth and final transfer spot. And Jason Danley in that 4J starting inside row 2, a tough break for him as he slows going down the backstretch. And now take a look at the bottom side, it's the 7F sub Tim St. Arnold. He's taking a look at the race lead and he's got it. Now running second, Terry Alexander, that 77. And now working on the bottom side. The 3 of Brian Brown running up against the 7A of Johnny Lightning Anderson. And now it's the hard charging number 3 of Brian Brown. He's taking a look at that second spot. And now working high on the outside of the raceway, coming down the front stretch, your new race leader. That's the 77 of Terry Alexander. And how about it, ladies and gentlemen, for the 7S of Tim St. Arnold and 77 of Terry Alexander, put on a great show here in heat race number 3. And Terry Alexander still your race leader. The 7S of Tim St. Arnold working good on the bottom side and the high side of the track. Running third, Brian Brown from Higginsville, Missouri. And in that fourth and final transfer spot, that's the 7A of Johnny Lightning Anderson. Running fifth in the 63, that's Randy Nygaard. Kevin Tanner in the G2 is running sixth. Tim Newman in the 7th spot. And the white flag is out this time by the checkers. Will await your third heat race winner. That's the 77 of Terry Alexander.
Yellow lights are off to the white line in 4. We try it once again, green flag. Everybody dicing it up, working through turns 1 and 2, 3 wide down the back chute. Josh Higday turning the wick up and letting the kite string out, trying to extend his lead off turn 4. Remember, only the top 4 cars transfer on into the feature event. Seth Brammer running in that second spot. Foster Landon trying to work on Jan Howard down the back straightaway now. The car number 100 of Michael Dupuis puts his hat in the mix, takes over the 4th spot, working on 3rd in turn 4. Matt Morrow also on the move, now up into the 5th spot. Remember, when the top 4 cars transfer on into the feature. Matt Morrow now to the high side of Jan Howard down the back straightaway. That's your race for the 4th spot. Side by side and wheel to wheel, they race through turns 3 and 4. Morrow still working the cushion off turn 4, takes over the 4th spot. Jan Howard charging back to the bottom side. Gets a little low, catches some mud, falls back a spot. Now Matt Morrow hanging on to that 4th spot, racing into turn 3. Here comes your leader off 4. It's Josh Higday. Josh Higday, Seth Brammer, Michael Dupuis, and Matt Morrow, your top 4 cars scheduled to transfer on into the feature. Jan Howard, Foster Landon, Jake Peters, Terry Thorson, and Ryan Craighead round out your field. Foster Landon getting well above the cushion, entering into turn 1, gathers it back in down the back chute. Single file racing, Josh Higday, 2-second advantage over Seth Brammer, currently running in that 2nd spot. Michael Dupuis running in the 3rd spot, Matt Morrow running 4th, Jan Howard in 5th, Foster Landon running 6th, this time by white flag for Josh Higday. Racing in turn 4, they go bumper to bumper as Foster Landon tries to make his way around Jake Peters. Not going to do it this lap. This time by, if you'd be so kind to put your hands together for your winner, Josh Higday. Seth Brammer running 2nd, Michael Dupuis running 3rd, and Matt Morrow running in that 4th and final transfer. As they work their way side by side down the back straightaway. We'll start at the white line in turn 4. Back on the flag stand from Colfax, Iowa. Larry DeCrife takes a look. Green flag's out, we're underway. Remember, the top 4 cars transfer on into the feature event. Now your race for that 4th spot. Toby Brown moves around the 4th spot, now around the 3rd spot. Look at him dice it up into turn 3. What do you think? Steve Brazil working his way off turn 2, your race leader. Doug Lovegrove running in that 2nd spot. Zach Chappell running 3rd. Dale Howard running in that 4th and final transfer, racing down the back straightaway. Billy Vielhauer running 5th, now trying to close the car number 44 of Doug Lovegrove off the pedal in turns 3 and 4. Vielhauer now to the bottom side of Howard, takes over that 4th spot. Howard on, we got a yellow. Yellow. Brazil, Brown, Chappell, Howard, Vielhauer, and Dean off turn 4 of the cone. Green flag.